Yes, I think I am recording. It's always difficult to know. Hello, my name is Lotta, Stickmamma Lotta on Instagram, and here you find me under House of Nellie. What am I? Fembarnsmamman on the web, which means Fembarnsmamman means mother of five. Hello, new and returning viewers. You're very welcome. It's been a while since I checked in on you. It's a very windy day today, and it's warm here in Sweden. We've had some rainy and cold days, but now it's warm, and that's good. I had this bright idea to sit out in the garden. This is our kitchen garden. What would you call it? Some call it vegetable garden, I call it kitchen garden, where we grow lettuce and onions, and got some peas and beans, kale, and zucchini soon. I'm going to plant that out, and flowers. So now we're just sitting outside our kitchen. We had our breakfast here today, which was lovely, and we ate lunch here too. I hope it's not too windy so that you can actually hear me talking. I'll figure that out when I edit. If it's too windy, I'll make another episode for you. I hope you're all well. It's been a hectic few weeks at the end of term. There's been a lot of tests, helping our children, our daughters with various things, studying, turning in the last things. There's always much at the end of the year, and well, it's been a hectic few weeks, but now we are enjoying our first week of summer vacation, and that is lovely. And warm weather too. Maybe there'll be some swimming and bathing. I don't know. We'll see. We hope so. It's going to be warm. A couple of warm days, really warm days, and that feels great. Hopefully also getting our first vaccine in a few days. But let's not talk about that. I have been knitting a few things. I think I showed you the Skymningssjal. I was knitting for one of our daughters. It's the, I don't remember if you called it the sea Skymningssjal or ocean. I'm a bit too lazy to check the other episodes. So, sea or ocean Skymningssjal by Kammeborn. And I finished it I think a month ago or something like that. And it's knit in Rauma Finull. I'm just going to finish talking and then I'll show it to you. It's knit in Rauma Finull, which is, well, a non-superwash. Those of you who've watched me before know I do try to knit in pure wool because it just feels great. So this is not knit in the Norwegian Rauma Finull line, and it's Sofia Kammeborn's pattern Skymningssjal, which is a lovely pattern. So the wind's going to catch it, but I'm going to try to show it to you. It's an assortment of blues, greens, and then kind of the wavy froth in the waves. See? The Skymningssjal. So that's finished and she loves it. Got stuck. So another one of our daughters said, oh, I would like a fire Skymningssjal. She has a fiery temper, and of course she needs a fiery Skymningssjal, so we're going to order those yarns soon. So that's my finished garment. And then I knit a shawl for my mother-in-law. She had a birthday, and we figured out a pattern that she liked. It's the I don't have it obviously because it was a gift, and her birthday was in May, so she has it. Maybe I will insert a picture if I remember to. It was also knit in Rauma Finull, a very thin yarn. No, it wasn't Finull, it was lamull, one ply, really, really thin, and a lovely yarn. I hope to knit more in that. It took some doing though, knitting in it, because it's so thin and the needles are so small that I think it hurt my hand somehow with this thin yarn. But I took it easy and knit through it fairly fast, but still I took it easy. So it's the by, what is she called? Joji Locatelli, I think. And the shawl was Ziggy shawl, which was a lovely pattern. One colour, a kind of a soft pink, pinkish purple, a lovely lace shawl. I learned a lot doing that. And I will insert a picture if I remember, or ask my husband for help. And I had an idea of knitting myself a Hansel hat by Gudrun Johnston, because I love shawls. And one of our daughters said, I have nothing to knit. Can I please knit you the Hansel lap if you show me? And so she did. I didn't have to knit it myself. I love knitting that pattern, but it was great teaching our daughter to knit lace, and she did a great job. So this is my Hansel hat in the wind. Gone with the wind today. Maybe. Hopefully not. So that is my Hansel hat knit for me by one of our daughters. And it's warm and it's lovely and I wear it a lot, and I think it warms me with a kind of double effect because she knit it for me and she learned so quickly, and she knit it for me, and now she's knitting mittens for herself and for her sisters. Also Sofia Kammeborn pattern, it's called Musikant. My daughters all play instruments, and they decided it was a great mitten to have. It's a half mitten, so the fingers are free to use, and this particular daughter plays the violin. And great mittens for her. So she's knit herself a pair in, now I don't remember her colours, green and white I think. And she's also teaching her sister, one of her sisters, to knit the pattern. It's so windy, I'm sorry, but I thought it was so fun sitting outside. And the flowers are so lovely. Yes, what was I saying? Yes, she knit herself a pair, and she's teaching her sister to knit. This daughter has chosen wonderful colours, and a kind of burgundy red matched with a pink colour. They look a bit weird just together, the yarns, but in this mitten it's just lovely. The combination is lovely. And the daughter who knit me this is also knitting her big sister a pair of mittens, which are knit in 2 shades of grey, and that's turning out beautiful. So the knitting expands within the family, which is great. Okay, so having knit with thin yarns, I having experienced a bit of arm ache, I thought I'm going to knit something with a thicker yarn. So our oldest daughter, who is going away to school in the autumn, and that's weird to think about, but I tried to think about it as something fun. My heart aches a bit, but they do have to go out to the world, right, and do their thing. But I am knitting her some sweaters that will both warm her, the fleece will warm her, and maybe having mom-made things will warm her heart, I hope. So we looked at different patterns, and she found that she liked the Tulip sweater, and you have seen me knit it if you follow me on Instagram. The Tulip sweater by Hoffman Designs, which is a lovely pattern design. So we knit this in Plötulopi, which the pattern calls for, and this is how it turned out. Trying to see if you can see. And it's such a lovely hem too, the finish of it. It took me some figuring out to understand how to do that, but when I finally did, it wasn't that difficult. And she loves it. She wears it all the time. And I love knitting in Plötulopi. It's such a soft yarn, and I don't know, it has kind of a fluffiness to it, but it's just lovely. We use 2 strands of Plötulopi. The pattern calls for a mohair yarn too, I think. But we just did this in Plötulopi. 2 strands of Plötulopi. And she loves it so much that she wants another one. So I've started knitting one in... Sorry, be back. I started knitting one in Lättlopi. And having found that this was rather big, it was a lady size, I bought the children's pattern too, with child sizes. And we are so small, we're small people, short. I think the French call it petite, that's what we are. So I'm knitting her the pattern which is recommended for 12-year-olds, and she's not 12, she's 20. But we're petite. So this is a light grey Lättlopi. I think it's light ash heather or something like that. Not sure. We had it at home, and I started knitting it. And we've ordered hand-dyed woolen embroidery yarn. So she's going to embroider something on it as well. It's lovely, isn't it? I've just picked up the stitches for the arm, or not for the arm, for the sleeve. Sorry, for the sleeve. I actually did. I find that I knit much tighter when I knit sleeves. So to avoid that this time, I changed to larger needles. And that wasn't a great idea. I don't know if I relaxed too much. I simply don't know what happened. I knit during a movie night here at home, and then holding the sleeve up, it turned out to be, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I just had to pull it all back and start over again, and change back to the needles that the pattern calls for. And the child size says not to decrease in the sleeve, but I am going to, because otherwise it turns out to be this giant sleeve and it doesn't look great on her. So I'm going to be following this decrease. I didn't follow the pattern because when I made the decreases that were called for, I think it was 14 decreases, it turned out to be too tight, a too tight sleeve. So we just did 7 decreases. So I'm going to follow this and just figure out, I think I know what I did. I should write everything down. I'm going to start to do that, I think. Maybe I should have some kind of sorry, I don't sew much. Some kind of knitting journal where I write everything down instead of just jotting it down on the pattern paper. I have to think about that. I'm going to try to remember how I did the decreases and in what interval I did them, and do the same thing on the light grey. And then she likes this lovely green apple colour, so she's going to have a third one, a green one, Plötulopi this time. And I'm going to knit that in the children's size, 12. I think with smaller needles, because it still turns out big. I'll show you how it turns out. So I've been knitting some, and not to forget, I feel so grateful for having this little corner of the world to myself on this web, whatever we call it, YouTube. And I find that this community is so loving and welcoming. When I talked about different yarns, I had one of you contact me and talk about gauge. And this person even ordered yarns and made a swatch and made the effort to write down and photograph the swatches to tell me the gauge that she got and how she experienced the different yarns. It was Tuku wool and others. So I'm very grateful and happy that you choose to spend some minutes here with me. So I'm going to edit this and see how it turned out. And in these times that are trying, I hope that you are kind to each other and that you're all staying safe. And hopefully I will see you soon. We'll see. Thank you so much. Bye bye.